Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Desmond Law from Cal State, Northridge. We are live at Comic Con right now in Los Angeles, California. We're going to talk with a bunch of random people and see what the hell is going on and what's so comic-y about this con. Let's go! Hi, hey, hi, hey, hi, 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 hey, hi, 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 would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Erin Marie. Welcome to Comic-Con.
Hi, I am Hollywood from the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, and that was a TV show that was in the 80s. It aired in 1986, 87, 88, and 89, and we have been at the Comic-Con probably since 2015.
My name is Candy Crush.
My name is Americana.
My name is Daniel DeSosa, and this is Oh Meow Comics. I self-publish comics. This one's about a magic three-eyed cat, Kitty Jenkins. This one's about bards and druids in ancient Ireland. I write and I draw all of it. Publish it on Webtoon, on Manga Dex, and I sell it at shows.
Yes, my name is Marine 1169. Yes, I am a real Marine, just retired. Did 21 years in the Marines. The game that I usually stream is Call of Duty and some other war games.
My name is Darren. I'm with Critical Hit Games, and we run the tabletop department here for LA Comic Con.
Hi, this is Yuki. So this booth is about the VTuber things.
I am Cindy Rue Cosplays, and today I am cosplaying as Professor McGonagall from the Harry Potter series.
Hi, I'm Gladys.
My name is Hunter, and we are doing illustrations for the Ardbeg liquor.
My name's Evan. I'm with Interrobang Entertainment. This is our game, Jane Silent Bob Mall Brawl, and it's kind of a I guess you want to say a love letter to the Kevin Smith movies. One of my favorite movies is Mallrats. A beat 'em up that's kind of in the vein of classic Nintendo games like Double Dragon or River City Ransom. Yeah, and that's what it is.
I'm Chris. This is Star Wars Legion, tabletop war game from Atomic Mass Games. It takes about 2.5 hours to play. This is kind of a representation of what a normal game would look like. You know, it's a miniature game and a hobby. You know, so you get to build the miniatures. You can build them however you want, modify them, paint them how you want. Like the little plants, those are just fish aquarium plants.
My name's Torben, or Aaron Lindy. I've been in the gaming space for about 18 years, running streaming and stream studios, as you see here, for about 7.
I'm the Rhino! We're the whole Spider-Man!
Oh, that's Spidey. How are you doing?
How
you doing?
There he is!
Oh,
man. Stop his ass!
What inspired you to do this?
I like anime, and also I like my friends does VTuber, so I was really interested in.
I started cosplaying just because we went to a local convention and I put together a closet cosplay, and I'm a drama teacher, so I've been a theater kid my whole life, and so I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. These are my people. Yeah. And then I made friends, and from there it just got crazy.
Just watching Olivia and Kevin on G4 was like every single day after school was just absolutely amazing. And then when YouTube started going, it was like just like a wow, I can actually connect this and talk about something I'm very passionate about. But at the same time, as a woman of color, as a black woman, there's not a lot of us in media, especially in esports, like esports, gaming, like all of that. So I just wanted to be a little bit of the scratch of the surface to say like, hey, you can actually do this and look like me and be successful.
I started as a pro boxer, and I just want the biggest challenge I can find and to combine my artistry and athleticism together. I love being under the bright lights and performing, so wrestling was it.
I was a gymnast for 14 years, turned pro bodybuilder, and I found wrestling by surprise, and the second I stepped into the ring, I loved it.
Okay, interesting.
I just love telling stories, and when people read stories, and comics always meant a lot to me, so I like making comics.
We were actually mutual friends, so I was invited on the team, and I just thought it was really fun to do something for Comic-Con and just kind of meet other artists and express myself. Yeah,
so for me, I got the job through a friend who knows me for my artwork, and I was offered the job because the theme is the comic book hero and drawing a robot, and so when I got the offer, I was very excited because to be in an environment with a bunch of people who enjoy this type of medium and also do drawings and basically do everything creative here. It's a culmination of people who just gather here to just enjoy comics and anime and pretty much all types of media. So that's what got me really excited to come here.
I just got into gaming all my life ever since a kid, and I opened up shop in Corona because just wanted to have a nice, healthy community for people to go and play games. And from there, we're just kind of trying to spread the word and hosting events like this at conventions.
It was an audition that I had to do Glow, and you know what? When you're young, you have no fear, so why not hop in the ring and do what you can do best.
What I noticed was there's a lot of developers who need marketing support. They want to get their games out there, get them in front of fans. As a service to the community, as a part of the culture, I wanted to be able to do that. So we've been doing the mix events for around 10 years now around the world. We've done it in Amsterdam, Taiwan, Germany, Japan, and then of course here.
I'm a big gamer. Ever since the first Nintendo came out, was just always enamored into the field. Got out of college, realized that it was actually, I'm not gonna say it was easy, but there was a path into the game industry, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take it.
I used to see streamers streaming, and I used to wonder how I could actually do that. Just started, looking into what I needed, equipment, and how to get into it, and found a home on Facebook Gaming.
I like the game. The game is a blast. And it keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble.
Originally, back in the day, I wanted to get into gaming, and so I decided to just start doing something. So I started small, doing Rocket League, Halo, and Hearthstone events, started building that stuff out, and eventually got into doing actual live events based off of that, and just continued going forward. And that, I worked my way through various different positions. Then I was with DreamHack for 7 years, in charge of all their influencer programs, along with influencer activations and running stream studios around the world. In a lot of ways, it's just one step at a time, and I got there where I wanted to be.
It's the Rhino, man. I'm 6'3", actually. Costume makes me about 6'9" with the horns. I'm over 7 feet for sure.
What's your favorite part about comic conventions?
I like the costumes. The costumes that people wear are amazing.
Meeting fans that enjoy the things that I enjoy, as well as just making people happy.
I like to watch a lot of manga as well. So it's interesting, they have all the stuff, and also Japanese one, and also the American ones.
The culture, everyone's really, really cool. Everyone's typically very nice, and we all share the same ethos of the things that we love. Be a part of that community, being able to talk to folks like you, and just kind of connect.
Just coming out and watching the people watching, see what everyone dresses up as and has fun. It's just it's a different type of energy, and I just kind of like that energy. So
These fans, because without these fans, we would not be here today. So meeting the fans.
Okay.
Meeting all the cool people and seeing their passion and the costumes they make, and just how much they love all these different shows and franchises and stuff.
It really is just meeting different people. I've met so many interesting characters and hear their stories, and no matter if they're artists or just people out of town just trying to enjoy themselves, it's all really interesting.
The coolest part about Comic-Con is seeing the people who show up and dress up. I think the effort that goes in and the level of creativity into these costumes and cosplays is really interesting to see, and I appreciate the art form a lot.
Meeting people like yourself, like this gentleman over here, that's the best part about the convention. And I love it, just meeting different people and networking.
Meeting people like yourselves, honestly.
Making the kids happy, putting smiles on faces.
Being able to come see all the people that are coming here and having fun and enjoying the different environments and all the stuff that we're doing here, along with all of the cool stuff that happens. This is where gamers come. This is where nerds come. We have William Shatner over the other side. Yeah. I've seen Will Wheaton at conventions. It's just bringing nerd culture together. That's what I love. I love doing this stuff because it's always fun. You always have fun things that come out of it. It creates memories, and it's very much an experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Amazon series, The Boys, please welcome to the stage Tomer Capone Frenchie,
John Aston and Elijah Wood,
Karen Fukuhara Kimoko,
Simu Liu, everybody, come on!
Please welcome this badass himself, Giancarlo Esposito.
The man himself, SpongeBob SquarePants, Mr. Tom Kenny!
The one, the only, Ming Na Wen! Laz Alonso, Mother's Milk!
Oh man! Hi, Los Angeles. It is so good to be home! Good morning, Krusty Crew! How are you? Nice to see you!
A lot of phones. It's a lot of phones.
How's it going, LA? Wow, this is my first big convention in Los Angeles, and I grew up here, born and raised, and so it's really nice to come back home, and what a warm welcome. Hi, everyone.
I'm very excited. I'm so happy you guys are here. Give them a big round of applause.
What a crowd.
We are like on the floor, aren't we? Oh yeah, this is it. We're just a distraction to all of the commerce that's happening behind you. Do you need anything from Artist Alley that somebody can run over and get? Artist Alley? Oh hey, Artist Alley! What's going on, y'all?
Shang-Chi, Kim's Convenience, Star Wars Visions, whatever you want.
Stock photos.
Stock photos.
If anyone wants tips on how to break into the stock modeling industry, it's all here. I'm a wealth of knowledge. Use me as you see fit. I want to make all your stock photo dreams come true.
You like snacky poo-poo? Which one is the triangle? Do you know? You guessed it. And I was like, oh, no way, man. I moved to New York City to be Al Pacino. I'm going to act the hell out of this. So there is a camera in the room, right? So if the camera is here, and if this is too close to the camera, I was here. Like I was in it, and I was like, which one is the triangle? Do you know?
I felt like we were really acting. It wasn't just like walking across the Shire or walking across Doom. We were like actually in awe and wonderment, and we were in the mythology of it. But because I'm so fat and my backpack was like so heavy, and the way they had us on the hill, I couldn't look up. So the camera's like here, and I'm like trying to look up, and I'm like, Mr. Frodo, look, it's the olive. I'm like, Peter, I can't do, I can't. Is there some way I can pull the backpack down so I can like stretch my neck out so I can see the elephants? Fucking elephants. Where are the goddamn elephants?
Pretty good. And since, you know, I know Mr. Elijah Wood and Mr. Sean Astin are not here, I'm obviously a Lord of the Rings super fan, so I just, in the interest of the Lord of the Rings, I will say this.
Master tricks us. Master deceives us. You tricksy little hobbits.
I get to interact with every single Star Trek series in a real intimate way that I only got to interact with my own series. I love being kind of like at the nexus of every Star Trek series, and I love getting to meet all the actors and creatives that are making these shows right now.
I was so depressed in my career because I was on network television for about 4 years at that point. And you know, network TV, you can't cuss. And I remember when the last show I was on got canceled, I said, I'm not going to audition for anything else unless it's something that I would watch. And it's got to have edge to it. It's got to be something that I would die to see, something that would be my favorite show. I didn't audition for a year. And when this came across my table and I read it, I said, this is the show. I knew it.
I would be a slice of Joe's on Bleecker Street. That's what I would be. You roll it up to eat it, you fold it, you break the crust a little bit, and then you fold it in half. That's how you do it.
When I first got the role, I didn't feel like I was sitting in my body, just insecure and wishy-washy. But to play Jules on Flashpoint, I had to be a sniper, and I had to be like this confident person, this, you know, and I just remember being pregnant. Through those 5 seasons, I suddenly just found myself just more grounded in my body, and in my life I felt myself more grounded.
Talking about Carl Urban, and he's sitting there and he's going, oi. And then we talked about what we should do between filming, and I go, you know what could be cool, play backgammon. And he said, I'll play for you for $50. So we got a table, and for this moment on, I just want to say though that all of us are addicted to backgammon behind the scenes, rolling and playing every day, all day.
About race and how much it has impacted everything that happens in the United States. Stories that are all true, that were written and experienced by either myself or friends of mine. And I deliver these stories to the camera just as a way to illustrate the everyday reality of people of color in these United States.
During that time, I figured out that I wanted to tell stories. I was like, oh my God, this is all I want to do with my life. To work with other people and make films. I love it so much.
Well, Karen, you have a video game coming out.
Yes! It's called Callisto Protocol. Came out yesterday, and you can play it on any console of your choice. Yeah, woo! It's this horror-based game made by Glenn Schofield, who did the cult classic Dead Space. If you're a big horror fan, please go play it. It's out now. Yes.
The power of superheroes is to inspire, is to show people that really the possibilities are as limitless as you're willing to imagine, right? Not to make it always about diversity, I really, but I think it's really something incredible when a community sees themselves represented, and really traditionally, if you look like me, you haven't seen yourself represented in that way a whole lot over the course of, your life.
Season 1, Carl used to love taking selfies. He'd always take these real sexy, like sultry selfies. Oh my
God, it's so good.
And in all these different, like wherever we were on a set, you'd look over and you'd see Carl just like juicing up, like he's like, and then he'd do his little smiles and stuff. So he would take these selfies. And so that day I just decided, I said, let me mess with Carl. So not only did the entire cast do the selfie, but the crew did the selfie too.
I'm here with the one and only CEO of Comic-Con, Chris DeMoulin.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm having fun. You've been having a fun day so far?
Yep, I've been here since like yesterday, and then there's been like a lot of things going on. I get to interview a lot of people, and I just want to say thank you for letting me be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's our pleasure to welcome in the press, and particularly it's great to have press coming who are in the college communities and can help sort of spread the word of what fun stuff's going on here.
What inspired you to do this?
Oh well, so the real backstory. So this is our 11th show. The first show was in 2011, and the show was actually started because a sister and her two brothers and two of their friends couldn't get tickets to San Diego Comic-Con for the second year in a row. So after the second year, they said, let's just do our own show. And so they put together some ideas. They got a little bit of funding, and the very first show was actually in this building in the parking garage in the basement. It was, a small show, but they got Stan Lee to come, the amazing, famous, iconic Stan Lee. And Stan really liked the show and the people that were involved. So he actually did a deal with them, became a part owner, and the show became known as Stan Lee's, at the time it was called Kamikaze Expo, then LA Comic-Con. So I first got involved about 10 years ago, and I've been running the show for about 4 years.
Since you've been doing this for like a lot of years, I was wondering, do you have like a favorite superhero character or a comic book character?
Well, I've had a favorite superhero character and comic character from long before I was doing this. Totally was a nerd growing up. I was way into Marvel. I was an Avengers fan, and I was a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. I think by the time I was 10, I had read all of the books probably 8 times. And then I also was a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm old. And so Star Wars came out in 1977. I was 15. I'll never forget my 3 best friends and me riding our bikes in the rain to go see Star Wars when it opened on opening weekend.
I just want to say that you don't look old at all.
Well, you're very nice. Yeah. You can come back next year.
Thank you. I was wondering, what advice would you give to students who want to come to Comic-Con? What could you tell them, what happens in a Comic-Con?
What we try to do, our mantra is sort of that we put on a show that's for fans by fans. We're all fans ourselves, and we want fans to feel like this is their show. So every year we do surveys and we talk to people and we say, what would you like to see? What did we do that you'd like to see again? And what didn't we do that you'd like to see next year? I think the most important thing is being a fan of something is a special thing. It means you love it, you relate to it, it resonates with you, you have some emotional connection dedication to it. I think if you're a fan of something, you can go onto the websites of cons and see if they're going to have the actors or the creators or the writers or panels that relate to that. First time, just maybe go see those things. You know, you don't have to come for 3 days. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to do the whole crazy thing that a lot of people do. I also think if most cons are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, go Friday or Sunday, because Saturday tends to be the day that's like completely crazy, the most crowded. So if you're trying to ease your way in, I would say look for the day that has the content you really love. Try to make that a Friday or Sunday, and then just go for 3 or 4 hours and see if it works for you.
What advice would you give to young people who want to be like you?
Oh, don't be like me. I think, I've had a very eclectic career. I've worked in advertising for 10 years. I worked at Disney for 10 years. I ran all their merchandise business. I worked for a movie production company, made the Chronicles of Narnia movies and a bunch of other stuff. I worked in the trade show business. But the through line of all of it was I love problem solving part of business. I always looked for opportunities where I would get to do that. My advice is, if you need to follow your heart when you're looking for a career and not necessarily listen to what your parents are telling you need to study. And if you find something you really love, and if cons is it, you go, you ask to meet the people that run it, you volunteer to be an intern, you get into it. I mean, most of the people that we hire have never worked in the convention business before. We just try to hire people who are smart and fun and nerds and fans, and they have a good work ethic, and they'll apply that work ethic to theirs. Probably 4 of the 11 employees we have now are people we hired because they reached out to us and said, I think what you do is cool. How can I be a part of it? And we brought them in originally as interns, and now they're employed.
Could I get hired?
You could be an intern.
Okay. My last question is that for your experience so far in this year's LA Comic Con, what would you improve if you get to?
That's a really interesting question. Logistically, the show has been pretty smooth. I think the most challenging thing with the convention business right now is that communication and marketing and advertising are changing so quickly that it's hard to know where to put messages out in front of potential fans so that they know that this is happening and they can come. So I think the one thing we probably should do is we need to embrace new media more quickly. I mean, we still don't have really much of a presence on TikTok. We were sort of slow to move from Facebook to Instagram. We still do a lot of radio advertising, which I love my radio station partners, but I don't know how many people are listening to the radio anymore. I think that's what we need. One of the thing we'll be looking at a lot for next year is how do we migrate to new technologies more quickly.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for taking your time to let us ask you that many questions. We know that you're quite a busy person.
That's what I'm here for. It's absolutely my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that basically wraps up the whole 3 days of Comic Con LA. I just want to say that I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you, Brandy, for inviting me to cover the whole event. Lastly, I want to wish everybody who's watching this a Merry Christmas if this video manages to come out before Christmas, or a Happy New Year if this video managed to come out before New Year. And that's about it. Thank you. Bye-bye.